Preparations A through G were failures. However, Preparation H was a success. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Zareth Prevails. We're in the plan, folks. This is my weekly show talking about news and things around the holotables. We got a lot going on today. I've got a busy week coming up, so I'm actually doing this way earlier in the week than I wanted to otherwise. But lots of stuff. We're going to talk about Jabba the Hutt requirements. We're going to talk about when Profundity will actually become an event. How long do we have? We're going to talk about all kinds of really great things. You'll see. You'll see, folks. You'll see. Did Bo Katan roll that mod, or is she just forever stuck at 18? Let's find out. First, please mount up with me, guys. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, comment, all those awesome things. Help me mount the algorithm. Let's do it, guys. We can do it together. Alright, so we wanted to get this Bo Katan mod up to plus 30, right, guys? So we're going to keep rolling it one time per week, we said, and this could get up to a plus 30 if we get rolled 2 6s. So we took it to 6E, and it's 18. Hey, look at that. It boosted by 1. Then I forgot to do it for a week, but after that, I did roll it one more time. This is last week. We rolled flat offense. Can we roll a plus 6 speed this time, folks? Did we indeed? Let's find out. No. The answer is F no. Hell no. Of course not. We got more offense. More flat offense. Plus 37. Last time it was plus 36. We're moving up in the world, guys. But we only have 2 more rolls left on this stupid mod, and I'm starting to lose faith, guys. At this point, I'm like, man, maybe we'll hit flat offense one more time. And if we do that, then we'll have a better chance of rolling speed on the third one. On the last one, I mean. I'm saying this because I'm sad. Alright, so news-wise, set 3 of the Datacrons are out. They told us about them, at least. They told us what the stuff is. And frankly, we have too much to cover. So I'm going to be making an infographic like this for set 3. That'll be out eventually, and you guys can check it out then. So Fulcrum Ahsoka has a pretty cool Omicron in territory battles, or sorry, territory wars, and what she's doing is she's killing the Starkiller squad with Juhani and Mara Jade. And so, I mean, this is a very classic thing, guys. Very interesting, in my opinion. So they sell a problem. They're like, okay, I tell you what, we're gonna put so Mara Jade and Juhani. If you guys don't know what the significance is Starkiller has galactic, GAC Omicrons, which means he's really good in GAC, but not so good in the rest of the game modes. However, Mara Jade and Juhani combine to make the Starkiller team very, very strong in territory wars as well, which is, pretty alluring for the territory war people who have already invested in having a really good Starkiller. So they do that. People don't want to deal with it. It's a really good team on defense in territory wars. The problem being is that now they've released Fulcrum Ahsoka, which she solos entire. Like I've seen multiple videos. Like I'm not going to show you guys a video here, but she solos the Starkiller team with Juhani and Mara Jade, and the reason it's interesting, guys, is for a long time Starkiller was like, oh well, we're not going to put him on. We're not going to use him in territory wars. Like he's not good enough in territory wars to be used, and that's fine. That's how it goes. Sometimes characters come out and they don't get used in territory wars. It's a very selective thing, on the top shelf, in the top shelf guilds at least. And the bottom shelves, I'm like, I don't want to know what's going on down there. No, but here's the thing. They sold. They're like, hey, put some Omicrons on these characters. It's only for territory wars, but that makes this squad really good. You're gonna really make your squad awesome. So look at that. You have an awesome squad. All it takes is two more Omicrons. So Starkiller has 3 in JAC, 2 in the other one in territory wars. And then they're like, you know what? This squad is such a menace. Wouldn't it be nice to have something to take it out with easily? So then they released the Fulcrum Ahsoka one. Hey, look at this. Territory Wars. We take out the old team. Only takes one Omicron here. It's a very interesting situation, guys. And I'm not saying it's... what I've heard now is that you actually can fix it so that Fulcrum Ahsoka can't just one-shot this team, but she can also one-shot other teams used heavily in Territory Wars. So, just an interesting thing, folks. Something worth thinking about at the very least. Their strategy is interesting. Their marketing strategy. Alright, so in terms of account news, my alternate account got Malgus up to Relic 5, which is awesome. Huge thanks to Sarah for helping me with the conquest. The conquest of Malgus. Oh, this is my relic. This is my level 8, guys. Sorry, Relic 8 on my main account. I don't know if that was wise. This is another strategy of CGs, and we'll talk about this in a minute, but this Malgus, he's Relic 8. He's going to be good. Like, he just is. But it comes at a price, at a cost. It cost me 60 Electrium conductors. 60 of them, guys. That is a ton, considering how much we need for Admiral Raddus. It is absolutely maybe the wrong time to have done that. So in terms of modding, people have been asking me this a lot, and I just thought I'd cover it here. Malgus is going to be the same modding as Sith Eternal, basically, which is to say he wants health sets with health primaries, and on the ones that don't have health primaries, which is the diamond and the square, you want health percent secondaries. I didn't say percent on here, but you guys who are listening to this can help the people who are just reading this. Actually, let's just not help them, shall we? In terms of Omicrons, people have been asking this, and I've told a few people the wrong thing. I'm very sorry, but after looking at it, leadership is a no-brainer. That's the number one. That's in terms of priority. That it's just like Starkiller. Starkillers is amazing. You want the Starkiller unique. And then the other two specials are distant, second, and thirds. Similarly, Malgus, his leadership is amazing. And what I told people initially was the unique is better than the special. And so far, with the limited knowledge that we really have, but we've been able to crawl through some of the mechanics and everything, it looks like the unique is not quite as strong as it is. The unique, or as strong as it looks like, it's not just when the... whatever the ability is, the unique ability from Malgus goes away. Is it doubt? Is that what it's called? the thing that I'm suffering from right this second about if I'm correct or not. Doubt is once it expires, then it goes to everyone else. The problem is it's not expires, it's when it's cleansed. And so it's conditional, which means someone can outplay it. It's still, I think, going to end up being pretty good. I'm not sure. I put all three of them on my main. On my alt, I only had enough for the leadership, but I will be putting the next one on my special, unless we find out the unique is good. It is better than the special. But initially, that's the thought. Now, alright guys, so here's the issue. The Grand Inquisitor has been a bust, and I championed him for a while. I really thought he was going to be good. I did. Reading his kit, I mean, he's still doing some good stuff. He really, he's doing okay. But here's the thing, guys. Grand Inquisitor is mocking us right now. He is just laughing up a storm. He thinks this is super funny. He's like, I know, I was the one who just got stabbed in the gut with a lightsaber, but you guys got gouged by CG. Here's the problem with Grand Inquisitor, guys. Even if he was pretty good, which he's just not, I don't want to commit good mods to him. I don't want to. Here's the problem. Okay, so Galactic Legend requirements. Don't look at any of these except for the one at the very bottom. Look at how many Carbanti. So the number on the right, under the Kyrotech and Carbanti, on the very bottom entry there, is how much it costs to get him and his entire team up. So it costs almost 1,600 Carbanti. and 2,500 Chirotech to get this whole squad up and running. Obviously, it takes more other things than that, but it requires that. Just the gear for those 5 Inquisitors and Grand Inquisitor, that's how much it costs. And what do we get for it? Like, when the Datacron is gone, what good is that squad gonna be? Maybe they'll release Riva. Maybe they'll make them good in GAC. I don't know. But right now, it feels like a ripoff. Here's the reason why. Profundity is going to cost a ton of relic levels for me. Like, I need, even though I have a ton of, like, most of my characters are already relicked, the ones that I want, or at least gear 13, it's going to cost a huge number of resources to get them all up to the various relic levels that they want. I really could have used all the resources elsewhere, guys. I could have, you guys probably could have too. Grand Inquisitor has become, it's like, in the face of Jabba, that sounds so weird, in the face of how exciting Jabba is, and of how exciting Profundity is, we're gonna get both of those here. How excited is anyone about Grand Inquisitor? Let me know in the comments about that. Like, how many people were actively working on Grand Inquisitor requirements only to just completely dump it in favor of Profundity? Because I think that's wise anyways. Profundity is going to be way more important, so is Jabba. Grand Inquisitor is important for what exactly? Because CG just wants to keep spamming the stupid galactic challenges down our throats? We hate it, Precious. We hate it. So, there's that. Alright, let's look at some Jabba requirements, folks. These are my predictions, and I could have made a whole video about it. I probably should have, for like business reasons, probably, but I don't know. I just want to knock it out here. So here's the thing, guys. We know that the top 4 are, plus the Outrider. So we already know what the ship is. And all right, so they've added new things to different groups. You know, like with Mob Enforcer, gosh, to different groups. I'm not being clear here. The Hutt Cartel is a new faction, and so they've added a bunch of Hutt Cartel characters. The problem with it is all those characters are already requirements for various other things, and they're already required at Relic 5 and higher. Like, if people want to speculate that Boba Fett is going to be Relic 9 as a requirement, that's probably fair-ish. But the problem is, I don't think, like, none of those are going to get a huge amount of profit from CG. Mob Enforcer, no one has him geared, or her geared, sorry. So go gear Mob Enforcer, I think. And then they've already announced they're going to have several other marquee characters. I don't know if there's going to be 3 new ones, 2, if I had to guess, I'd say 2 new ones. And I would say that those are going to be requirement characters. And then maybe they'll do a 3rd one that isn't a requirement character, but still adds to the team. Something like, you know how Omega was released for Bad Batch. She's not part of the Lord Vader requirements, but she does substantially contribute to the success of that Bad Batch team, and so that's kind of what I'm thinking here. Maybe would happen. So, well, a few of these are a little bit weird, but I'll kind of go through it. So, Mob Enforcer, just because Mob Enforcer would be, I mean, a good money thing for CG. They're like, hey, we don't even have to upgrade this character. We're just gonna slap this random cartel thing on Mob Enforcer, and we're gonna require like Relic 7. It's gonna be super funny. Watch how we make money. You can hear the credit card sliding. So Bib Fortuna, I think that one, I would not be surprised if we had Bib Fortuna announced like tomorrow, or for that later, Boosh, Leia Boosh. You know, that's like the costume that Leia wore when she walked in to rescue Han, the failed attempt to rescue him, all elaborately and strangely. Anyways, so Dash Rendar was actually part of their operations in trying to like locate Han and everything like that. That's part of the Shadows of the Empire story, and so he could be one of the requirements. I'm not, you know, we already have his ship at 7 stars. Like, I almost think there's probably not going to be a ton of overlap there, but at the same time, he's a scoundrel. He could be there. Lando. So the thought is, we might just go through a tour of like what all transpired at Jabba's palace, like all the different stuff, from start to finish. And I mean, I guess we could also put like Cad Bane in here, but he's already kind of a requirement anyways. I don't know. But here's the thing. I guess Cad Bane wasn't part of that story anyways. I'm just getting all out of order here. But OG Lando was certainly part of it. So, I mean, maybe they release like Lando with mask, and that could be one of them. Like, they're going to release all these different marquees. Maybe that's going to be it, and that's going to be a requirement. But I think Lando will be a requirement of some sort. Maybe they'll do young Lando, though, instead, just to force us to gear up another character. I'm not sure. Young Han Solo, just because, remember, at the end of Solo, he's like, hey, we're gonna go meet Jabba. Yay, we're gonna meet Jabba. It's gonna be so good. And you know how that turned out. So Boushh Leia, I think that one, I would be really excited. A new bounty hunter that, I don't know, could be involved there. That seems exciting. I would love to see that. Chewbacca. I mean, I feel like it's probably not gonna be this level, the legendary Chewbacca. It's probably gonna be like Vander Chewbacca. But Jabba's like, at last we have the mighty Chewbacca. Except in Huttese, he's like Chewbacca, like that. So. Or was that Watt speaking? I'm not sure. They all sound kind of similar. So probably him. Jedi Knight Luke. I bet that they require him. I bet that if there's going to be a level 9 requirement, Jedi Knight Luke's going to be it. I don't know if that's true or not. Maybe it's going to be Bib Fortuna. Maybe it's going to be someone else. I don't know. Gamorrean Guard is not going to be it, actually. I hope it's not Mob Enforcer. That would be a mean joke. Maybe it's Salacious Crumb, who knows. But then the last one is kind of a fun one, just in terms of lore. I don't think this is really going to be it, but I would love it if it was Mara Jade, because when she was introduced to the Star Wars universe, back in the expanded universe, she was the Emperor's Hand. That's the version that we have right now. And she was actually sent to assassinate Luke. And the whole thing was on the sail barge. She knew about the plan with the lightsaber, and so the lightsaber would get shot from R2-D2 to Luke's hand, except she would use the Force to grab the lightsaber and take it to herself, and then they just push him into the Sarlacc pit and he'd die with no recourse. So I don't know. That might be fun. The other thing that we might have as requirements would be like C-3PO or R2-D2. They've already been used as requirements for high relics, so I think it's going to just be a full of a bunch of characters we don't have yet. If I've had to guess, guys, I think we're just going to have it full of Salacious Crumb, Bib Fortuna, Boushh, or, Masked Lando. All these things. Let me know what you think in the comments. What are your predictions? I would be curious to hear. Now, the Jabba territory battle node. I thought that this was interesting. Someone mentioned this during our podcast the other day. And maybe it was yesterday, in fact. You guys can go listen to it. We talked about it a little bit. But the idea so we've got the territory battle node, and I was thinking, along the lines of everyone else, like, okay, well, maybe that's just to get more GET2. I mean, or maybe GET1, that would be nice. But someone mentioned, what if it's an unlock node to help guilds push getting Galactic Legend Jabba? Can you imagine if on the Hoth territory battle, they started releasing, I don't know, like you could release any number of characters that were fighting for the rebellion. You could have Saw Gerrera be an unlock character. I don't know, but one way or another, I don't think this is going to be it, but it's just an interesting idea to think that maybe, and that it would be a wise business choice on their end as well, showing, because how many guilds would be like, guys, you gotta get Galactic Legend Jabba so that we can unlock this new hotness, this new awesome character. That to me, that seems like a really good plan, honestly. Tons of people have asked me this. Will Slave Leia be here? Will Slave Leia be here? Like, is she going to be the next galactic legend? Is she going to be a helper character for Jabba, a lifter character, whatever? Is Slave Leia going to be in the game in any capacity? And the answer is nope. That won't happen, folks. I'm sorry to say. I'm not trying to antagonize you when I say that. I do want to make sure you understand, though. This is not going to happen. Look, as a guy, I'm as big a fan of the Slave Leia costume as a lot of you probably. I wouldn't mind having a game with that in it. I mean, I know that there are arguments against it, whatever, but for me personally, I don't have an issue. However, they made a very clear, obvious choice when they said to no to the midriff Padme thing. Tons of people wanted, when they released Padme, they wanted to show midriff, and I don't blame you, I guess. I mean, I'm a fan of midriff Padme too. I mean, what do you want from me? But here's the thing. They see that as objectifying women, and to some degree, I think they're right. And I don't think that it necessarily, like, I don't play this game to get turned on or anything. That's not the reason I play it. Like, I don't just stare at Ayla's character for hours. Whatever. Like, I don't think that's going to happen. Not to mention, Disney has put out a thing that's like, they're never going to show or sell any depiction of Slave Leia after a certain date point, which we've already hit many years ago. So I think we're just out of luck. If that is, non-luck, whatever. We're not going to have it. It's not going to happen. I'm sorry, guys. Go on the internet. There are 1,000 million pictures of her and all the women in the whole world that think they're attractive also wearing their own Slave Leia costumes. You can find all kinds of awesome stuff. You don't need this game to have Slave Leia in. Like, you don't need it. Not to mention, let me just ask you this. How does it feel? So if you're a guy attracted to girls, and you're looking at this, who do you think drew that depiction? It's going to be a guy who drew a depiction. So if you're like, hey, look at that, she's pretty hot. Probably a guy who drew it, guys. I don't know. Does that change something? Don't tell me in the comments, please. Okay. Profundity. This should have been a little bit before, I think, but apparently I got the slides mixed up a little bit. Profundity, my prediction for the ultimate, and I think I heard this, I don't know if this is an original thought. It's hard to tell at this point, as stupid as that, but I like the idea of the Profundity. They need an ultimate. Why not have a Hammerhead Corvette get called, like, and just like push the enemy ship away or something? I don't know. It's just a cool idea. I was very impressed when I heard it or thought of it. In terms of Profundity requirements, guys, I guess we haven't talked about Profundity yet. This is like the main course here. So, here's the thing, guys. There's no way for non-spenders, unless they're in a big enough guild, which a lot of them are. I know a lot of you guys are, but for people who don't spend money on the game, there's no way to get droid brains unless you're in a big enough guild. You can't, you have to either pay cash, which is a crazy amount. I mean, it's, to get from Relic 8 to 9 for just to get enough droid brains, you have to pay $150, $150 US, which is, it's a lot of money, guys. That is a lot of money. And so I struggle to think, like, a lot of people don't have that kind of money. They don't want to spend that money, and I don't blame them. Droid brains, however, are required if you want to get Radis up to Relic 9. So we're either going to get an upgrade to, like, we're going to have some way to farm droid brains, probably in shipments, probably for crystals, but crystals you can earn in the game. So that would technically be a farmable resource. You could actually farm it. I think that's going to happen pretty soon. I don't know what it's going to look like. I think that's going to happen pretty soon, though, because otherwise, I mean, I don't know how many people are okay with, I mean, people's spouses aren't happy with us spending money in the game sometimes. That's all I'm going to say. I mean, yeah, it's tough to explain. You're like, what? They're like, why does that little number have to be a 9 instead of an 8? And why did we have to spend $150 to get us there? $150 to turn the number 8 to 9. Someone needs to explain it to me, because I don't get it. In terms of when is the Profundity going to be here as an event? How long do we have? Someone in our in the chat for, we do the live Gambit podcast every Monday evening on Twitch. Come check us out, guys. But Fedalorian said this, and I thought this was really good. I told him I was going to steal it. He said it's a balancing act. If the release is too exclusive, if they, like right now, for instance, if they were like, okay, Profundity is tomorrow. So Profundity's event is tomorrow. I just wouldn't get Profundity right now. I don't have enough resources. I couldn't do it. There's no way. If it's going to be next week, also probably an issue with that. I probably can't get it. If it's the next week after that, maybe I can. And so the idea here is that, they don't want the release to be too exclusive. They don't want it to just be Mega Krakens, because I spend a lot of money on this game. They probably don't want to exclude people like me, because then I'm like, well, I'm not going to spend anything. Like, I'll just get it for free, no problem. So if it's too exclusive, the players who don't get it won't feel the pain of not having it, because they want it to be, they want some Profundity to be in all of the ship shards, so that you're like, oh man, I really struggle to beat Profundity now. I would love to get Profundity myself. They want it, instead of, they're like, oh, only like 5 people got it in the whole world. Like, probably not in my ship shard. Like, probably not a big deal. So, in terms of Profundity, when we got to figure out when it's going to be released. Well, all we can go off of, guys, is the Executor announcement and when it actually happened. So, you guys can see they announced it last year in the July 2021 Road Ahead, which I thought was really interesting. They released it. They announced it basically almost exactly 1 year, like within less than a week difference. They announced it within a year of the last of the Executor. So, anyways, July 23rd is when they announced it, and then when the event actually occurred, all I found here is the event thing saying, hey, yesterday's event, so this is on August 17th, yesterday's event, which is August 16th, if yesterday still means what it did yesteryear, but Executor event, here, let's get the math. I did pre-math here. So, there was 8 days in July, 16 days in August, so 24 days notice. They were like, hey, Profundity, or Executor's coming, and then 24 days later, they had the Executor event. Remember, it's only a 1-day event, and then it reoccurs every month. At least that's how it was for Executor. So, the State of the Galaxy was on July 19th here, as opposed to July 23rd. So will we get it in approximately August 3rd? 13th? I mean, I don't know if the 13th exactly. Let me see. What is... 13th would be on a Wednesday. No. That is the wrong thing. Okay, so the 13th would be Saturday. So probably like the week before, like maybe like August 10th. I don't know. My guess, sure. Why don't we say August 10th, guys? That seems reasonable. At least seems like that might be likely. So we get those crystals. All right, guys. That's all I got for you. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Love to hear from you guys. Hope you have a great week. You won't see me too much in the next coming weeks. Gonna be busy doing real life things. Love you all, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. And remember that in all things, Zareth plans and prevails.